What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to round number 17 here for the MRC 100% Championship. Now we're here in Russia today. It looks a little bit overcast in Q1, so we could potentially see some rain on the way, but we've got 19 drivers here today. Lee, well, he's retired straight away. He's starting from the back of the grid along with Dan, but Dan's not here unless I've missed that. We got Dylan. Looking for anyone else? No, Dan is not here. And then there was one more back row start, which was Lee, Dan, and Phil. Is Phil here this week? Looking for the McLaren. I don't see him. There will actually only be the one back row start out of the three. Two of them just decided not to show up. So that's also that. So Lee will be starting at the back. So it'll just be 17th and 16th getting eliminated from this session. No, and 18th now, because obviously Lee will drop below. So if the three cars will be dropping out of this session, we've got a couple new reserves filling in as well. Sink Axon, who I believe his name is Brad, and then I think that's it actually. I think it is just the one. So there we go. We've got 19. We might see someone fill in potentially halfway through. I'm not too sure on that. I have to say there might be someone joining in late. Hopefully we can get up to a full 20 by the time the race gets underway now. I am by myself this week. To be fair, I was qualifying by myself last week, and then I had Josh, who had internet problems, come and join me on comms, which was very nice. It's always much better to do it with two people. I enjoy it more. It's kind of easier to keep track of everything as well, but we're here at the end of the day. Tyler's actually retired. That's out on track because he didn't have a back row start. I'm kind of hoping someone comes out the pit lane so I can have a look at that. That's down at turn 2, 3 technically. Turn 1's a little kink. He's either had really cold tyres and just didn't expect that, or he's done it on purpose, but it didn't say he had a back row start, so I think that might be a mistake. His car's gone now. There's literally going to be no way of checking that. Oh, there you go. I've got to change my wheel and pedal settings to... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. There's the answer to that. A bit of a mistake, unfortunately. It's just one of those. We'll make it interesting for for the race. A nice, fun challenge. Had no brake pedal. Yeah, that's not exactly what you want going into the first corner out of the pit lane. Anyway, Cohen is the first car out, and he's the first car to be around in a nice bright pink Racing Point. Got a nice little black helmet as well. It's looking nice. So now we are actually only down to going to be just the two cars dropping out. So it's going to be maybe a bit of an anticlimactic Q1, but fortunately Cohen's got his first lap run invalid. We've moved down to see how Ryan's getting on. He's just coming up to turn 2 now. In the Williams, they've been getting some good points together. Obviously, Harry as well. I forgot to get the updated championship standings, but I can just look at them on my phone. I forgot to actually grab them and put them in the. All right, I can grab them out of Discord. Where are we going? Normally I have them up on screen, but I forgot to. So Dylan's still leading the way, even though Harry is slowly closing that gap out. That gap is around, I'll do some quick math, 63 points. Feels quite a bit further back. He's obviously not here today. And Ryan and Ross are quite close on 98 and 91, but it's the constructors mainly. Obviously, now only 29 points between Racing Point and Williams, with Ryan and Harry getting some good points on the board. And then it was very close between McLaren, Mercedes, and Red Bull, but last time out, Red Bull got some very good points. They're now on 206, McLaren on 179, and then Mercedes on 178. So still only 1 point separates them. Ryan is just approaching the end of the lap. So will this be the first time on the board? I believe it will be. And the final corner at 131.9. Not a bad first time at all. To be honest, I'm not too sure what the actual lap times are around here. All the strategy, we kind of wing it as we go. What we're known for. Cohen obviously going again. First take time of 33.2. I do a quick comparison to Ryan's at 33.1, so fairly similar there. Not too far off. Okay, Tyler's fixed his problem. That's good to see. We don't want in the race just slamming into turn 1 and just taking out 15 cars and making a nice little bowling alley. Although it would be quite entertaining, I don't think that's quite what we're aiming for. But I think Phil's joining, but his Xbox is having issues, so that sorts that problem. So I think that will take us to the full 20 mark, which unfortunately I know the reserves always, they're eager to get in. So Phil will actually, if he gets in, he will be starting from the back as well. So that's not going to change too much. Evening Ryan, you're right, as Axton has gone quickest with a 31.2. Matt slots in with a 31.5, just set that a minute ago, and Cohen went literally half a tenth or so slower than Cohen in 4th. So far only 4 times on the board. Anyone else on the lap? Sewers. He's gone invalid though. Will he come into the pit lane? He will. Tom's here. You alright, Tom? Is anyone actually on a lap? Everyone's kind of on out laps or the pits. I think Richard's just begun one. He has literally through turn 1. We'll go on board for this lap. See what it's like. A little bit. Ooh. Maybe just missed a braking point for turn 2. Went a little bit deep. Couldn't quite take the corner how he'd hoped. So it's going to compromise him a little bit. So Richard just be looking to get into Q2 and advancing. We got some yellow flags in the middle sector. I don't think that's anything to worry about too much. At 33.7, so ignore the purple sector. So far, the first sector hasn't exactly been ideal. I think he lost most of his time through turn 2. So onto this back straight, the second DRS zone. I believe there's only 2. Yeah, there is. There's only the 2. This one, and then obviously the start-finish straight. The rest of the lap hasn't looked too bad. Just not the best of start. Obviously, Richard will just be hoping to get into Q2 and then can build on that. Could push for a Q3. There you go, Phil's joined, so that takes us to the full 20 as well. Around the final 2 corners. I think this might put him slower so far, depending on what the rest of the lap was like, and it does. He's around a second off the pace or so, just under a second off the pace, so he will definitely have to go for another run, because I don't think that's going to see him through at this current moment in time. Liam, I think Liam should be getting pretty comfortably through, and there you go, 31.4. We'll start in between Matt and Brad. Now, this guy's in sync, so my guess would be he's pretty quick. His Critchley goes even faster. That's both Alfa Romeos actually in first and second, so hey, they're looking strong so far. Critchley has taken a little bit of a break. He's come back, and bang, straight away is on, oh, I say provisional pole. It is only Q1, but it's looking the quickest. We have only had 7 drivers or so set lap times. Who was at Aston has slotted up into 5th place. Harry round the final corner will actually go even quicker with a 30.7. So the first car into the 30s. Will we see a 29? I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I don't know what the lap times are like super high. I'm not at the super high level in this game, so if we see a 29, I generally couldn't tell you. That's still around 8 tenths off, but this is only Q1. We got a Renault. Is this? No, that'd be Kian starting his lap. As his teammate Tyler obviously had the brake pedal issue. There's Dylan on a lap. Dylan should be on a lap. Current championship leader. You'd more than expect him to get into Q3 today. If we don't, I'll be quite surprised. Crosses line only 6th to be fair, but with only 2 cars dropping out, should be more than fine to see him through. It's kind of what it's going to be for most of these quick guys. Get an alright lap in, and with only 2 cars dropping out. Wait, yeah, it was still only be, yeah, it will still only be the 2 cars dropping out. Is Phil retired as well, even though he has just joined. A little bit of a cluster going on at the beginning of this straight at the moment. Hopefully cars will get out of the way fine. We don't want any kind of quality hold up and people getting some stupid penalties. It looked like he maybe went a little... Oh, he's on. Wait, no. He's on. I thought he might have backed out for a second, but he's still on hot lap ERS wise, so I think this is still a fully committed race. Yeah, Ty, adds to the challenge, adds to the fun, you know. Start from the back, spice it up a bit. Too easy otherwise, you know, you just blitz them all. Kian slots up into 11, which is actually second slowest, so if everyone gets a lap time in, that would see him out. Cole is going along at a half speed down the start finish straight, so he's obviously made a little mistake in there somewhere. Ross is right at the beginning. Josh in validation now. That's the thing with Josh. He does love his penalties, so he's got to be careful. Definitely in a qualifying session in Q1 where if you get eliminated just because you couldn't get a lap together, that's a little bit awkward. A little bit embarrassing. Hopefully he can kind of put it all together when it matters. Cole we saw plodding around. He will recharge the batteries. You can go back up to 100% and then he's not actually put it. There you go, up to hot lap, and he's gonna go for one because obviously a 41.7 is not gonna see him through. Kiernan was up but decided to not go again. Ryan comes into the pits. Brad is 2 tenths up in the 5th place. Obviously he was on, well, was provisionally first momentarily in a session, but people have started to improve. Dylan's actually jumped up to 3rd as well. He went on a lap again. Matt has jumped up to 4th. I believe that was better than his first lap time. And Critchy might have improved, but he stays 2nd. Yeah, I'll take some. What am I trying to say? I'll take some good battles. There you go. Happily. Get your elbows out from the back. I won't be complaining. Right, Brad's gonna come around the final corner. Was 2 tenths up when we last saw him. Crosses line, improves by 4 tenths or so and jumps up to 3rd into the 30s, a 30.9. And then we got some of the boys who hadn't set lap time. Where's Ross gone? Oh, Ross has just gone quickest with a 30.4. There you go. That's that's where Ross has gone. Sill's up to 11th. Cohen's in 12th. Cole still no lap together. I said the issue with invalidations. Got to get them together. At the moment he's through because Josh and Nathan haven't been able to get a lap together, but they've both literally just come out the pit lane at the exact same time. Oh, I've just seen as well in the Discord that if people are cutting corners, which I have seen a couple people do on out laps / in laps, you will potentially be getting penalised. So, if any of you are watching, just be careful, okay? I don't think too many people will be watching and racing, to be honest, but hopefully they've seen that in the Discord because apparently it is getting noted. We'll see. You can gain quite a lot of time around Russia from just cutting corners. Quite a few tracks, like France is a really good example. You can just cut corners on your out lap and your in lap, and basically it can make you leave the session like to that last minute and just bomb it around. Yeah, I think everyone from probably 10th upwards is safe for now. I'm not sure how the track's going to change too much, how much quicker it's going to get, but definitely Cole not having a lap in. These two at the back at the moment, Josh and Nathan, definitely under a lot of pressure. Definitely with McLaren wanting good constructed points, and then Phil's starting from the back as well. They both find themselves near the back. That's gonna not be easy for them. Like yeah, Tom Ewer, yeah, but Tom Ewer just too good, you know. You can do multitask. That is fair. It seemed like you always did it on a straight or at least at a reasonable moment, to be fair. So Alright then, pressure's on Josh. Let's see if he can deliver. He's got it out for a mayo of Critchley in his way, but so far so good. Let's see. First sector time is going to be a 32.889, and then a big old lock up into the right hander. That's not going to have helped. Ignore the purple sectors, by the way. It's still the glitch where it says they get purple when they really don't. And sometimes you can't tell. It's a little bit annoying. Right, onto DRS straight. Apart from that lock-up, the lap hasn't looked too bad. A couple more cars. Oh, Richard retiring in 13th. That's in the pit lane by the looks of things. That's a bold one. Maybe he believes his chances. Looney Moo hasn't got it invalid. Or should I say Nathan, sorry. Hasn't got his lap invalid. So that could be a risky retirement from Richard in only 13th. Kian and Cole below. Obviously, Cole hasn't been able to get the lap in so far. Josh looks like he's going to get finally this lap in. He's dealt with the pressure fine. It's going to be a 31 dead, so that will promote him all the way this sixth. So close to the 30s. And as you can see, Nathan goes 14th, so that does push Richard down. Cole's coming through turn 1 now, and Kian is just beginning his lap now. So it all comes down to Kian and Cole. Everyone from the Cohen upwards is safe. So it's only really Looney Moo or Richard under pressure. What you don't want to do is go for another lap when you're already through. Ooh, Dylan, okay, yeah. Got out of the way, fine. What you don't want to do is go for a lap when you're safe and then crash. That'd be literally the worst thing that can happen, because obviously you then can't take part in Q2 if you do make it through. Let's see what the split time is. He's up by 6 seconds. It's not too useful because obviously he went very kind of slow in the last couple of sectors. Ian, we'll see what Kian's split time is. He's only up by 3 thousandths, and he needs to find just under a 10th. He's Kian, did you just go a bit deep there as well? I think Kian might be struggling. Cole will cross the line and comfortably go into 8th. So that does eliminate Richard, and Kian looks like he is really struggling. Let's see, it's obviously a very short run down to the line. I don't think it's going to be enough. It's a 32.2. It's so close. It's 100th of a second out. Unfortunately, Kian does not make it through, and he will be starting in 16th. So the bottom 5 that are eliminated are Lee, Phil and Tyler. Lee and Phil both had those back row starts. Tyler had the brake pedal failure, which is just unfortunate. It's just one of those things. And then Richard and Kian, unfortunately, are the two that didn't quite make the cut. Looney Moo just scraping through. So there you go. That is the end of Q2. We're just waiting on a couple of cars just to finish laps that they wanted to go for anyway. Cohen might be able to find a little more time. Same with Phil. No, not Phil. Sil, sorry. His lap's been invalid. Aston will just come in and pit. So will Cohen finish the lap? He will. He'll finish it for Pride. Gains him in position, found a 10th and a half. It's a 31.8. So there we go. That is the end of Q1. We move on to Q2 very, very shortly. Right. Come on, Sil. Drop the retirement for us. Right then. Ross kind of comfortably is only Q1, so we can't read into it too much. Looks dominant here in Russia. Took what was first place by around 4 tenths. Very close to Critchley and Harry. Brad just behind, and Dylan, Josh, Matt, and Colt, all within a second of the quickest time. Then Liam, Ryan, Aston, the other Ryan in the Williams, Cohen, Sil, and Nathan all made it through. In the end, just about, obviously, as I said earlier, very close between these two. Keane, unfortunately, just missed out. Then Richard in 17th, and the three that, unfortunately, all had the DNF. So, there we go. On to Q2, but obviously, strategy is going to come into a little bit more play now. So, might see some drivers obviously starting on the medium tyre, going for the different strategy. I'm not too sure what the strategy actually is around here. Whether we'll get some rain as well in the race, who knows? I might ask for anyone know if we're going to get any rain at some point. Alright, just asked, just in case. Oh, okay, Callum replied, yeah, but Callum's not here. Great, okay. Nope, okay. Richie said no, so... Okay, Ryan's here as well. All dry. There you go, lovely. Okay, so we don't have to worry about any rain. Let's take a quick look at the tyres. Only 4 drivers so far? 5? Okay, a couple more loading up the mediums as I speak, but... Oh, wrong button. It's kind of 50-50 split, maybe a few more in the favour of the softs, so... Okay, and I've just seen Tom in chat say Cole's 6th race with no lines, so it might be a bit off to normal, to be fair. Did fine in Q1, that might be why he's struggling with the invalidations here and there, but overall, he looked fine, to be fair. Right then, into Q2 we go. E-I-E-I-E-I-O. We've got Cohen on the mediums, we've got Ethan on the mediums, we've got Ryan on the mediums, Aston on the mediums, Harry and Matt. So, the majority of the quicker guys have selected the mediums. Cohen might struggle to get through on the mediums. Same with maybe Ryan in the Williams. Most of them, I think. Both Ryans might struggle a little bit to get through on the mediums, but obviously I don't know what their pace is like around Russia. This might be maybe one of their stronger circuits. But just going off kind of normal knowledge. Fair, Ryan always seems to, Ryan Lee or Ryan Leah. To this day, I feel really bad for not actually knowing how that's meant to be properly pronounced. I just always just go to Ryan's, but to be fair, he always seems to just get points out of really... No, Phil didn't crash, Callum. Back row start. For being a naughty boy. Yeah, no, Ryan always seems to be really good at just pulling points out of situations that you would seem to capitalise on. And he's always just very consistent. That is one thing I will say with Ryan. He very rarely will DNF. Just sees it through and will always capitalise on people crashing, which is honestly quite a very good thing to have. Anyway, Cohen is one of the first cars out, as well as the... both alphas of Critchy. We'll see what Critchy can do. He's actually the furthest ahead on track. Oh, Ross is disconnected, I know. Oh, and Josh is... Oh, no. Oh, no. What's happened down here? Where was that? Oh, no. That's... Oh, Josh. That's not what he wanted at all. Well, both McLarens going to be starting, what, like 17th and 15th now. Is there another car going by there? Is one of the Williams? Is it Harry? No, Harry's beginning his lap. It would have been Brian. It's probably too late now. Yep. I think that might have been by himself, and then Brad was just trying to maneuver his way through. That is not what Josh wanted at all. It's Critchley with a 31-7, so that's not a bad lap at all. Callum, to be honest, it wouldn't surprise me. That would not surprise me one bit. Cohen will cross the line, do a 33.1, so 1.4 second gap, and that Aston will come kind of in the middle ground of 32.8, still like a second off of Critchley's time. So definitely one of the quicker medium times. Dylan's probably got caught up in that kind of Josh little shenanigans that happened. Cole is out of the way in quite an annoying spot, unfortunately for him, as Ryan goes second fastest with a 32.6. To be fair, Ryan's not looking bad. Harry's also had some invalidation problems, same with Matt, and same with Sil, so a couple of people really struggling on track limits at the moment. Let's see where Brad can go. His teammates in provisional pole at the moment on those medium tyres. He's got a few yellow flags ahead of him. Shouldn't be anything to worry about. Down the straight he goes. Just flow Ferrari. Okay, yeah, no, that worked. I was scared for a minute because sometimes you don't know how long people will stay on that right hand side for. Nails apex, to be fair. So far, it's like a very nice lap indeed. Should be in the 30s really on these soft tyres. Across the line, it's a 31.1. I think he could probably aim for a little bit quicker. We go off the times that we saw in Q1. Harry invalid again. Matt this time got it together, and he will go third with a 32.2. Not a bad medium time at all. Ooh, Dylan, that's a bit wide. Somehow that's not been invalidated. Oh, he is. Dylan is struggling here a little bit. Oh, the rear end, yeah. Surely he's going to back out of this. There's no way he continues this on, surely. We'll come back to that just in case. Harry goes for his third lap on the medium still. Oh, he got it invalid. He was valid at one point, but he is really struggling. Lay him out for his first lap on the mediums as well. Any of these guys go for 2 runs? I think a couple of them did. Ryan did. I don't think he managed to improve, unfortunately. Cohen did. Again, doesn't look like, or he improved, or he did improve. Hasn't gained him a position. I think he might have actually improved time-wise. I will check that. I think his first was a 33 something. Yeah, so he found like 2 attempts or so. Fortunately, not a position for him. And yeah, Cole still unfortunately struggling a bit. Let's see. Liam and Harry, they're 2 at the moment who are on these laps on the mediums. Carl's a little bit twitchy, but I'm sure it's probably set up in that way. Just kind of one of the downsides, just obviously having a quicker setup. Sometimes it can be a little bit twitchy, and the rear end can be a little bit snappy, but it might not look the smoothest, but sometimes it's what's the quickest over a lap. And a 31.8 is a very, very good medium time. That will probably, depending on who comes out in the softs, which to be fair looks like a lot of people are starting to, it might just see him through. Liam jumped up to 4th as well, so both of those have got their medium runs in, and they're looking good respectively. Dylan look like he will finally be able to get the soft run in, although it does look a bit off the pace yet again. It's going to be like a 35.6. He's struggling. I don't know if he's just trying to lay some rubber down or something. Cole as well looks like he's finally getting a lap in. Oh, well, looks like he's finally going to get it in. Is he going to pit, or is he's just going to keep going? He's just going to keep going. He can. Still got the DRS for it. Obviously, build the car up quite a bit, so he can just keep going, which is fair. The problem is, he's got to remember he will start the race on these tyres if he does set the fastest lap. I know he might want to go for the mediums, but could it not be quite a big risk, potentially? If then everyone else goes for softs and they don't make it through? As they go Ross with a 30.7. Like, I know they've set bankers on these softs, but if they can't go quicker and everyone comes out on softs, it could get a little bit tasty. Obviously, they believe in their own ability to work their way back through the field, but could get interesting. Here comes Ryan for his second attempt on these softs through turn 2 and 3 into the very, very long left-hander. It's looked nice though. It has looked nice and smooth. Got a couple of yellow flags ahead of him. There's only 4 minutes left on the clock. Oh yeah, I was about to say surely that's going to get invalid. Unfortunately it has. He's keep going. He's keeping going like he's not even noticed invalidation. Cole's finally into the pit lane. Everyone loves their invalid laps today. So Matt's come out on softs, Harry's come out on softs. Quite a lot of people have come out for this soft tyre. So we're on board with Matt then. See what you can do. He's currently 6th on, I believe it is the medium. Yep, everyone apart from the top 2. And then obviously people outside the top 10, they're all on the medium. Rotter's retired, I believe. Yeah, that's in the pit lane. He will use that 30.7. Should see him comfortably through, and to be honest, I'll be surprised if it doesn't. As there will be people still stick it out on their medium lap. Matt is a second up though. It's probably going to be a low 30, a low 31 or a high 30 at this rate. Depending how much time. Oh no, he's just back extended at the third last corner. He's going to come into the pit lane and he might just gamble on whether his medium time is going to be enough to see him through. Ryan is currently in 7th, just below him. There is quite a big 4/10 gap though between those two. Cole's come out on the mediums. That is a bold shout. Ryan crosses eye and jumps all the way up to 3rd, so he's going to be through on those softs, depending on obviously other people around him. Cohen is only a 10th and a half up. He's going to be needing to find quite a bit more time than that, to be honest, on these soft tyres. 5/10 up in the second sector. That's a little bit better. I think Seals just jumped up to 5th as well on the softs. So yeah, the medium runners coming further and further down. I think Matt's going to run out of time, so he's just going to have to pray that he makes that through. Cohen's going to cross the line. He will jump to 7th with a 32 dead. That might not be enough for him. Matt's now in 9th. Yeah, pretty much everyone has come out on these softs, so Cole's going to be under some pressure on the mediums to get into that top 10. Aston's on the out lap. We got one of the Alpha boys. And they're all letting cars through. I'm trying to work out where everyone is by looking on the mini-map at the moment. I think it is literally just Dylan at the moment. Everyone else is kind of getting their lap. Oh, that's not ideal. There's only 10 seconds left on the timer as well. Oh, Dylan, this might be it. He's got to pray that the rest of that was fine. That one little mistake shouldn't cost him too much. I don't think it is. It's going to be a 30.8 still. That will see Dylan very, very comfortably through in 2nd place. So now everyone is... Oh, Critchley's already gone invalid. So, I mean, he is on the medium. I think he'll be safe, to be honest with you. His medium time was very good. Harry's time was also on the mediums. That's going to be close. Matt is right on the edge there. Aston is the furthest ahead, depending on... who's that car coming around the final corner now? Is that Sil? No, who is that? That'll be Liam. Where's Liam? Liam's just jumped up to 3rd, so 30.8. So here we go. This is the order they're coming in. Cole will be first. No, it'll be... Sorry. It'll be Aston, then Cole. Then it will be Critchley, and then it will be one of the Williams, the other Red Bull, the other Williams, the Racing Point. I think it's Dylan, so he's already done, so we don't have to worry about that. So Aston crosses the line and goes to 5th, which has knocked Matt out. It will then be Cole to cross the line next, and he jumps to 10th. He's just through, depending on how the rest of these go. Harry jumps up to 4th. Can we get down to Ryan in time? Crosses the line and goes 8th. So that will knock Cole out. He knocks his teammate out. Consequently. There you go. Ryan just makes it through in 8th. Cole out. Matt out. I think everyone else pretty much made it through. The only medium runner in the end whose lap time was good enough was Critchley with a 31.7. Everyone else is on the soft. So Cole, Cohen, Matt, Nathan and Josh, obviously DNF. They are the 5 that are out. So Sil just about makes it through. Critchley makes it through on the mediums. Ryan in 8th just made it through the end. And then the other Ryan, Aston, Brad, Harry, Liam, Dylan and Ross top the session yet again. So that's 2 sessions in a row. Going to Q3. Can he top Q3 and take pole position? Well, we'll have to find out in just a minute. Well, in around 12-13 minutes time we will know roughly who's going to be on pole for this 100% race. Right then, here we go. All 10 cars have made it through to Q3 this week as well. I think last week we just had the 9-man shootout, so... Interestingly, Dylan's loaded up the mediums. I mean, hey. Alright then. Cars making their way out on track now. Critchley is the first one out. He's got over 111. Still just behind him as Liam's still in the pit lane. Only the one Ferrari with us in Q3. Only the one Mercedes as well. Only the one Racing Point. To be fair, the only team that have got 2 through are Williams and Alpha Tauri and Alfa Romeo. Unless I'm missing one there. The individual teams are the Merc, the Racing Point, the Ferrari. So, and the Red Bull, yeah, 4, and then yeah, that'll make sense. Then it has done an outlap on the mediums. I guess he's just testing the tyres, or he just actually doesn't have another set of softs. Here we go then. Critchley, who would be one of the favourites for pole. I'll lob in a cheeky pole prediction now. I'm going to go Ross. Has looked very, very quick so far. Took Q1 by like 4 tenths or so. If you can get that kind of lap together, I'm going to expect to see him up there. Definitely up there. Critchley through turn 2, turn 3. Very, very nicely done into the long U-shaped corner. Send as far over to this left-hand side as possible. Then brake, obviously, in the straight line. And turn in into basically a bit of a right-hander section. You've got 2 or 3 right-handers in a row. It'll be very easy to cut the corners around here if you're not careful. Now he's got to prepare himself onto the straight, try to get good exits possible. A little bit slidey through the corner. It's not going to cost him too much though. Now he's just going to bomb it down the straight. Into the braking zone. Make sure you pick out the correct point. A little bit of a lock up, but again, it's not going to cost him too much time. We're in a kind of mini chicane in the final sector. Around the final couple corners, and the first time on the board, I think we had one of the Alpha Tauri spin crits. We were 30.7, so not a bad first time at all. We can definitely build on that. We will have Aston crossing the line next. 31.2 for him. We've got it was Harry with a 30.6, so he's up and into provisional pole. Ryan next with a 31 dead, so he will slot in with slot into third, and then Dylan with a 31.9, obviously on the mediums. He's obviously just doing some laps just to get used to the track and whatnot. Ryan has unfortunately had his lap invalidated. Ross, same with him. Liam, same with him, and then Brad's on his outlap and still came into the pit lane. So after the first runs, only 5 people have got a lap together so far. Ross is actually going to back out the second attempt as well. Ryan will go again on the other hand. Right then, Ryan going for the second run, and then obviously Brad's still on his outlap, and still in the pit lane. We saw Ross not going so far, both Alpha Tauris unfortunately not able to get their lap together. I think Ryan, if he can get a kind of a top 7 start here, I think that'd be a very, very nice qualifying for him. Like I said, the Williams have been very, very strong recently. You can tell that with both of their cars kind of getting through into Q3. Small constructors points. Also, you could argue maybe Harry's been carrying a little bit, but Ryan still obviously pulls the weight, and it's a team game. Just got 2 corners to go for Ryan, as long as he can navigate these. Around the final corner, be careful not to cut it too much. It can be tempting, and it goes up into 4th with a 31.1. Very, very nice. Obviously, a couple cars still yet to set times. Brad is just storming down the straight now. I believe this is his first race in MRC, if I'm not mistaken. Very easy to lose the rear end, but that looks incredibly stable through there. In towards the double right-hander. He's going to cross the line, and it's going to be a 30.8, which will put him third, around 2/10 off that provisional pole. He's gone around a 2/10 gap clear to Ryan as well in fourth, so he's kind of sitting in a little bit of a pocket in third. He's not too far off his teammate, to be fair. Everyone else is in the pits. I would be very... Yeah, no, he hasn't decided to go again. I was going to say I'd be very surprised if he decides to go again with only 4 minutes left on the clock. Still then, this might be his one and only lap. Hopefully he's fueled himself to be able to do 2 runs. Just in case he does mess one up. I hope he has. I'm going to be quite interested who's going to kind of take that kind of 5th to 6th spot. I think Ross will get up there. Dylan will obviously get up there. I think Harry, Critchley, Brad, Ross and Dylan will probably be the top 5. But from 6th downwards, you've got Liam, you've got Aston, you have got Ryan, you've got both Ryans, you've got Silt. I'm interested to see who will kind of take that kind of 6th, 7th kind of area. Oh, was he just smacked the wall there? No. I think that might just be in a sound bug. If I didn't really look like he hit the wall too much. It might have been the rear. Oh, he has actually pulled out the lap though still. Maybe he did touch it. Maybe the sound... I didn't look like he hit his front wing potentially on it, but just one of those things. Jump to his teammate then. So we see Liam begin his lap. Him, Ross and still the only ones without a time at the moment. Pressure's really on one slight mistake. There is still 3 minutes left. So like I said, you make a mistake. As long as you've fueled the car well enough, you should hopefully be able to do 2 runs. Just in case it is needed, obviously. It's not the ideal situation. Your tyres will be a little bit more worn, but it's there kind of as an emergency backup. Ross has just begun his lap as well, just behind. The same goes for Ryan. Most cars either beginning their laps or slowly starting to make their way out of the pit lane around about now. A little bit of that kind of big old orange curb there, and it threw him off just a little bit. Onto the back straight he comes. Williams unfortunately just a little bit too far up the road to kind of get a toe off of. That would have been quite nice if he was a little bit closer. And towards this final sector, hopefully the Williams actually realises he's there, because they'll be wanting to kind of prepare to begin his lap. Yep, when they do, nice. Because obviously you got to think about others in that situation. Even though you are trying to begin your lap and kind of get your tyres up to temperature, you've got to be careful. Liam will cross the line and go 6th for 31.151, so just behind Ryan. Fortunately for him. Ross will be next across the line. I'm very interested to see where this lap would time. He's my pole prediction guess. Ross is a light. It says 29.9. I said earlier we'll be getting to the 29 as well. Ross is completely smashed out of the park. So there answers that question. Ryan is not going to be able to improve, so there you go. He's obviously fueled himself fine, and he can do another run there for the Red Bull driver. Interestingly, Liam unfortunately hasn't gone again. Dylan at the moment only in P9 with a 31.9. Around the final corner, he crosses the line. It's going to be a 30.4, which will put him up into 2nd place. So Harry now got some time to find. Oh, he's got invalid. Harry, he's got 40 seconds. I think he should be able to make this round in time. But that's going to be very, very close indeed. Critchley is on his lap. Liam, obviously we just saw do his lap a minute ago. Ryan's at the beginning of his lap. I think Is it? I think it's the Red Bull who's next. He's 5 temps up, maybe a little bit deep in there. Oh, it's just looked a little bit scruffy, the kind of beginning of this third sector. It was 5 temps up, which would really put him up there, kind of second and third place. But this final sector, he's squirming all over the shop. He might just complete it just in case, which is a shame because 5 temps up. A real good chance that that kind of top 3 will cross the line, and unfortunately doesn't improve in the end. So quite a bit of time being thrown away there, unfortunately. Brad's had a spin, which is unfortunate. It's just lost a tyre. Critchley would go second with a 30.1. He can't quite take Ross's time off of him. Obviously, Brad not going to be able to improve. Aston currently down in 9th. Had to be Ryan. Oh no, he's just got invalid. How much was he up by? He then runs incredibly wide. He would have jumped Ryan though. He would have potentially gone into 6th, but unfortunately the final 2 corners just a little bit too scrappy. Aston crosses the line and takes 6th, so he slots into that kind of 6th place. Harry is up by 5 tenths. Depending on what this final sector is, Harry could just squeeze onto pole position here. Round the final corner, and he's done it at 29.857. That is pole. Dylan retired. Dylan wasn't going to improve. He was just behind. I didn't know whether he was going to go for a lap as well, but Harry is on pole in Russia. Ross was very close behind. 10th or so behind. Critchley in 3rd. Dylan in 4th. Brad in 5th. Quite a bit of a gap back from those 4. To be fair, it was the top 5 I predicted. Not in the order I predicted, but it was the top 5 that I said would probably be the top 5. Then you got Aston in 6th. Ryan in 7th. Ryan in 8th. Liam in 9th. And Sil in 10th. Unfortunately, just couldn't actually get a time together at all. Can I check what went on there? I think it was just invalidations. Unfortunately, retired in the end. It's not going to show me anything. But yeah, still. Oh no, I don't want to leave. He unfortunately couldn't quite get it together when it mattered. Right, and we will have our usual 5-minute break. So if you head back in around the kind of 5-minute time, it'll be probably 31 at the time now, around past. Hopefully we don't have to restart the lobby or anything. But yeah, we will be back in around 5 minutes time. So see you all then. Right then, we are back and we are ready for this race. Obviously, we take a quick look at the tyres. Critchley in third is going to be starting on the mediums. There's only one in the top 10 who made it through on those medium tyres, so it'll be interesting to see, obviously, how that one plays out. Outside the top 10, Cole and Cohen both starting on the softs, and Matt, Nathan, Josh, Kian, Richard, Lee and Phil all on those mediums, and Tyler said he was going to give me some action. Has obviously gone a little bit more aggressive and is going to be starting on those soft tyres from what is P18, so hopefully he can get a good start, put in some work, make his way through the field. Same with Phil, same with Lee, same with Josh, Matt. We've had, we got quite a few of the kind of quicker guys starting towards the back, so this could be quite a nice fun little race. It's definitely on the cards. Russia, in my opinion, isn't always one of the better tracks for racing, but obviously on a game it's not bad. We should still get quite a few fights, so hopefully that is what happens. I'm a little bit tired, so I do apologise, but here we go. It is time. They're very soon. They're just making their way through the final sector now. Harry obviously on pole. We nice to see what he can do. He needs to hunt down this gap to Dylan in the championship, and so far Dylan in fourth. If he can see out yet another win, he's definitely on the cards to keep reading in that kind of gap. Right then, here we go. The leaders have slotted into place. I'll be very surprised we don't see some kind of little safety car or VSC heading in turn 1, 2 and 3, because obviously the little kink can make things a little bit interesting. Hopefully the lights actually get underway when they're meant to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's lights out, away we go here in Russia. Oh, and Ross has got off to a very, very good start. He's going to have the inside line as well. To be fair, so is Dylan. Dylan has got off to an absolute blind, and Dylan might potentially have a chance of taking the lead. Harry's still there all the way around the outside. They've got to be careful not to make contact, and there is contact. There's front wing everywhere between the leaders, even in the background of Williams. A McLaren, I think that was, has gone off. So Dylan's all the way down into 6th. Harry has kept the lead. Does he have wing damage? We have a safety car. No, he doesn't. Critchley damage free. Ross has damage. Yeah, obviously that coming together with Dylan. Harry was able to just sneak all the way around the outside and keep hold of the lead. Brad's up into 4th. Quite a hectic start. He's damage free. Aston all the way up into 5th. If we look at kind of the big gainers off of that. Kian's up 4 positions. To be fair, everyone's up a couple. Dylan's unfortunately lost 2. Richard's up 3. Matt's down 3. And everyone else has kind of just gained 1 or 2. Nathan's all the way down into last, unfortunately. But yeah, Critchley, Ross got a very good start. Had the inside line. Dylan got an even better start. They tried to go 3 wide in towards turn 2 and turn 3. Realistically, it's never going to back. Unfortunately, none of them really backed out. Harry kind of just stayed all the way around the outside, and obviously being on the outside, there's not a lot he can really do. He was probably the furthest ahead as well out of the 3. So yeah, it's just one of those. Will probably come down as a racing incident, but could develop into some penalties further on. Obviously, Ross having damage. Same with Dylan. I believe Dylan got damage off of that. There was quite a few front wings further back as well. I think I saw some McLaren. Oh no, there was a Williams wing. I thought I saw a Williams go off. That was Ryan Cohen. So both racing points into pit lane. There is the predictive pit stop strategy. Well, now it's going to get thrown into the works a little bit. They're going to have to change that. There's also Kian's into the pit lane. Ignore the deltas at the moment, they're all over the place. I know it says Harry's currently 16th, but he is in the lead there, sort themselves out after a lap or so. Nathan in the pits, still in the pits, Tyler's in the pits. Pretty much half the grid is in the pits, which is fairly interesting. Where's Ryan in all this? He's trying to work out, is that 5th? He is in 5th place, so that's not a bad start for him either. Everyone crosses that sector 1 line, the deltas will slowly start to go back into place. So everyone who pitted is pretty much pitted for another set of mediums apart from Ryan and Nathan. Everyone else has bolted on the mediums and we'll go from there. Obviously with the safety car, they're still not out of this race at all. 53 laps we've got here. It's kind of a longish lap time. Obviously in the race, the lap times will probably be in like the 33s to 35s for the majority of the race, somewhere in that region, I'd imagine. Hopefully we don't have the safety car out for too long. Probably be one more lap after this. Hopefully he can come out on lap number 3 and we can get going. Once again, Harry will be very used to these safety car restarts at this point. Has got Critchley behind him on the different tyre as well. So this is the stint where if he can escape and maybe Critchley forms a little bit of a train, he can properly bolt it and hopefully properly escape for his sake. But yeah, safety car obviously, as expected, out for one more lap. Just waiting on, I think it's Tyler right at the back now, just to catch up with the little train, and then we should be all good. Doesn't come in at the end of this lap, I'll be a little bit disappointed as everyone is now together. Don't think there's any more debris on the track as we go through turn 1. I don't see anything that's going to give anyone a punch. I think it's all kind of despawned / being cleared out of the way. So yeah, I think we should all be good to go green at the end of lap number 3. Right then, just in case you joined the stream kind of halfway through, penalty wise everyone has served this as well. A couple of people had 5-second stop goes. I believe it was Ryan and Tyler, they've already been served, so I think that's fine there. Stop wise, everyone from 13th downwards has stopped. They all got some kind of damage in some way through kind of turn 2 and 3, and then there is your kind of position change. Your big gainers, Alice, Ali, Phil, Richard all the way up 9 positions, and everyone else has kind of just gained a few positions here or there. The big losers are Ross and Dylan mainly, and Ryan and Cohen. They're down like 11, 10, 9 and 7 places respectively. So all on different strategies now, so they can still make some things work. Obviously these races are a long one and you've always got the chance to come back in. You can be a lap down, and sometimes we normally finish with like 11, 12 people. Sometimes like last week in Singapore we only finished, wherever you finished you got points. As Harry gets us underway, he's going to go right in the last corner, so he's got a decent getaway there. He's built out around half a second gap, as you can see. I think he'll be fine from coming under any kind of pressure from Critchley. Ryan has got a decent run on Aston here, but for Aston's got an even better run potentially on the Alfa Romeo. Further down, Ross is already going to be working his way through the field. He's got past Lee for P12 and Phil and Matt. Well, Phil's up to 10th from both McLarens now. Into the points, so they started both kind of near the back and they both already worked their way through quite nicely. Dylan's also got past Lee down here. Unfortunately, couldn't quite catch that one. Josh is onto the back of Richard and he's just going to squeeze up the inside and take P8. That's where he crashed in qualifying. They get the overtake done. So he's up into 8th. I'm expecting Phil to probably follow through pretty soon. Ross has got a penalty. Oh, and is that? That is Aston. I don't know if that's a coming together or a little spin, but he's dropped down the order and he's going to be dead last, unfortunately. On end of lap 4. Yeah, whether that was a coming together with someone or just a spin by himself, unfortunately do not have the answer to. But that's not ideal for him. Phil will be looking to get past Richard ASAP. The two McLarens will try probably cut through the field together. We'll see his teammates. He's got the Haas in front of him. I think it tries to force up a move into turn 2. We'll use some overtake. Has Richard decided to use something? He has, to be fair. So he is trying to defend off this P8. Let's see, he's gaining. No DRS quite yet. He goes for kind of a half-hearted attempt, which will put the Haas under a little bit of pressure. They nearly banged tyres, and now Matt. Well, Phil thought about attacking. He's definitely going to have to think about defending now. He's got both Mercedes behind him who'll be very eager to make their way through, as well as Dylan. Richard's gone a little bit wide, unfortunately. He's got to be careful when he rejoins the track. Phil's going to squeeze up the inside, just where Josh got through. Phil will do the same. And this allows Matt to have a little attack. He tries it. He cuts quite a lot of the corner. Richard has gone very off. Pick up a 3-second penalty. And now Matt's got a very good run. Try to go round the outside onto the DRS straight. The Ass is defending with all his might. Squeezes him out a little bit. Now here comes Ross, to be fair. We could see 3 wide at the end of this straight. Dylan's kind of just hanging in there in case there's a little mistake. Oh, there's a big incident and Richard is out. He's had it coming together. The two Mercedes nearly ran straight into the side of each other. Ross is through into 9th. Dylan's through into 10th. Matt has unfortunately dropped down to 11th and Richard is out. There was no safety car for that though. I think because most of the field had kind of passed it by that point, I think the car would just despawn by himself. That was a huge crash there. And we have the first DNF of the race. DRS is now also being enabled. The 2 Red Bulls putting on a good performance here, as well as the 2 Alfa Romeos, respectively, still in 2nd and 3rd. Cole is looking to catch onto the back of Ryan, though. Will we see some potential team orders? Not too sure they're communicating and whatnot. Maybe those two will fight it out on track. We've still got that little train down there that is kind of from Ross downwards, 9th, all the way down to 14th place as Matt has picked up a penalty. So both Mercedes already with 3-second penalties, as well as Nathan and Ryan. Here comes Cole. Obviously, Ryan does have DRS from the car ahead. He's going to squeeze him nearly into the wall completely. They bang front wing to gearbox. Doesn't look like he's got any damage, luckily, the Red Bull driver. Will we see potentially any overtakes a little bit further down the track? I don't think so. Everyone's still very close together. To be fair, Tyler and Nathan look like they're having a little bit of a scrap. Nathan on the fresher softs at the moment. It's going to come Cole once again this time. I don't think there's going to be too much fighting between the two teammates, and Cole will just get through. up into 5th, and he will hunt down Liam and Co. That's in the little train ahead. Harry's been able to pull out around a 2-second gap. Nathan has been able to get past, and so is Aston up the inside on Tyler. They're on the medium tyres, so maybe that's why he's a little bit slower, unfortunately. And he's unfortunately dropped down to 17th. Josh picks up a penalty, and I believe Cohen set fastest after the race momentarily. But being in last, he's got that clear space, and he's able to being able. If I can speak, he's being able to make the most of it. Dylan's still just kind of sitting behind Ross. They're trying to close down the two McLarens ahead of them, but unable to, as the two teammates. Brad's got past Critchley. I don't know that again. It was some team order swaps on the different strategy, because Harry is slowly starting to get away, but no. Ethan's back up the inside. And there you go. Critchley back into 2nd place, and Liam is now all over the back of him, and Cole's joined onto this train. And to be fair, Ryan very soon might also be onto the back of this train if they keep their kind of squabbling up. Right, with no DRS either, so Liam is really closing in here. Just kind of ran out of straight, but he's not got the best of exits out of turn 2. Going towards the long left-hander. Or just tucking behind for now. You can see Cole is just here as well. As Josh has picked up. Is that his first penalty of the race? I think it might be. No, that's his second. Josh has already picked up his 2nd penalty in the race, so he's got to be careful. You can see now Ryan is here as well, so they keep getting held up. Both McLarens can join in, and then you get Ross and Dylan catching, and Matt, and some of the quicker guys, before you know it, all back in contention, because this train starts at the kind of podium spot. It starts at around 3rd place. And now Brad's out of Ethan's DRS. He's going to find it harder to defend from Liam and Co. It's only around 1.7 seconds back from this train. And Critchley's starting to find his own little pocket as he pulls away from the soft runners. To be fair, on the mediums, it's a good job. The softs will probably go around 20 laps or so, I'd imagine. Just a rough estimate. And then kind of the 33 laps on the mediums. Something along those lines would be my estimate, as Liam is maybe going to have a look into the right-hander. Quite a ballsy place for an overtake. We'll actually look to get the better exit. Gets a really good exit. We'll use a little bit of overtake just to get that extra straight line speed, and he will just send one up the inside. Brad's still there on the outside. He couldn't quite make it work. He just had the momentum around the outside. And unfortunately, Liam couldn't quite find a way through. Ross and Dylan also having a little bit of a battle. Further down as Liam's gone a little bit wide, and this presents the opportunity for Cole to sweep round the outside, and he is up and into 4th place. So Cole into 4th, Liam down in 5th. For a minute he could have had 3rd, but wasn't to be. Ryan, it's just not quite close enough. We'll go see what's going on between Dylan and Ross. Here comes Dylan. Round the outside, he absolutely blitzed through, and he's up into 9th. And Ross with no real opportunity to even think about fighting that one back. Josh has brought that gap down to around 1.4, so he's gaining a couple of tenths a lap at the moment. We're all maybe just a little bit too far spread out to really have a go at one another in towards turn 2 here. Liam just too far back. Obviously now he's trying to overtake Cole, has the DRS off of Brad. It's going to start to become a little bit of an issue as Josh has picked up yet another 3-second penalty. Already on lap 10, and he's got 9 seconds worth of penalties as Lee picks up a 3-second penalty as well. They've got to be careful, these drivers. They have to be careful. At this rate, Josh is going to end up with like too many, like 40 seconds worth of penalties, something around there. Maybe even more. So I'll be around like the 45-second mark, which is not exactly what he's after. Cole actually getting a very good run on Brad's here, but still can't find a way through. Josh has now officially joined this DRS train, so they're just gaining more members. Meanwhile, the front two starting to really pull away. Harry 2.5 seconds clear of Critchley, and then Critchley is 3.1 seconds clear of his teammate. So what happens as soon as you break DRS and you can get away, you're going to find it hard to potentially keep up with some people. And Cole's got a very, very good run. He's just going to send this one up the inside. And he's through up into third. And actually one of the Alpha Tauris is that Liam got wing damage and went very, very off into turn 1. He's got to be careful when he rejoins the track. He's going to rejoin in 9th, maybe 10th. Yep, no, Ross will get him around the outside as well. I believe he got some wing damage, maybe. Yeah, some very big wing damage. Did he potentially run into the back of one of the cars there? Or did he just clip the wall on the left-hand side? Either way, he's got big, big damage. And he's dropped out and got a free position for most people. Very, very surprised if Liam doesn't pit. So and Lee potentially having a little scrap down here as, well, Liam's going to be dropping down those positions with that wing damage. Tyler's retired. Oh, that's... Oh, we got a safety car, to be fair, for Liam. That's kind of perfect with his wing damage. He can get rid of these softs, go on to the mediums. To be fair, that actually has very nicely blessed him. Tyler, unfortunately, looks like he's hit the wall on the either the left or the right. We've got the bottom two going through here. The car literally just disappeared. Great, but he's crashed down in the final sector, and not good for Harry and Critchley. They really started to build that gap out. Second safety car of the race on lap number 12. Well, there we go, my mic finally unmuted. I pressed the unmute button about 8 times, decided to not unmute, but here we go, lap number 12. Second safety car of the race. It's kind of brought some people into play now, obviously with the new strategies. Matt's come in, put on a fresh pair of softs. Harry is actually going to come in, same with Critchley, they're going to get rid of these softs. Cole will come in, pretty much all the lead. Oh no, Brad thought about coming in. Realised his teammate had come in and decided can't really do that. Josh has stayed out on the mediums, kind of would expect that. So maybe surprised Critchley's come in on the medium tyre, thought he might try to stretch that a little bit. Cole's going to go onto the mediums. Critchley's onto a set of softs. Harry's onto a set of mediums. Has Critchley jumped Harry in the pit lane? He has. Wow. Okay. You can tell that he's definitely being held up a lot in there. Harry is down into what is second place, technically. Had a 2.5 second gap, but he got held in the pit lane for such a long time. Critchley's able to jump him. Cole pits, Phil pits, Ryan pits, Matt pits. Just ahead of his teammate. You can see in the background emerging from the pit lane there. Ross onto the softs. Aston. Nathan pit only a couple of laps ago. Oh wait, no he didn't. He just has a slightly worn set of mediums. And then Cohen hasn't pitted for some reason, unfortunately. And then Liam, Ryan, who both pitted at the beginning of the safety car a lap ago. Obviously, they were so far behind, well, not so far behind, but they were at that point where the safety car came out as they were kind of going by the pit lane. So they could pit, and they've already done that. So yeah, suddenly the top 5 all yet to pit, but everyone else has pretty much pitted at one stage in this race. Cohen unfortunately decided not to pit again. Right, I think we'll have a safety car in on lap number 14. Oh, it's Liam. Oh. Oh. My day's been ruined. My day's actually been ruined. I've just seen Liam. Ah. Liam's in the chat. He just dropped a high. Can't believe it. Wow. Sorry, Liam, but it's true. Disrespect on his name. Go play FIFA or something. Alright then. Everyone's nicely screwed together. Should have a safety car in this lap. And then we should be getting underway. Back to racing. Obviously, top 5, as I mentioned earlier. All not pitted, so it'll be interesting to see how Critchley on the softs and Phil on the softs, Matt and Ross also on the softs, how they can cut through compared to the people who's obviously gone for the medium, thinking about being quicker, maybe more towards the end than this kind of middle stint. If Critchley can kind of get through these first 5 cars and get away, hey, he could suddenly get away quite easily. Put some respect on my name. No, Liam. No. We'll do a quick penalty update as well while we're here. So penalties, Josh is on 9, which is quite a lot of penalties considering we're only on lap number 14. Phil has got only the 3 seconds safety car in this lap as well, so that's good. Matt's also got 9. Ross has got 3. Aston's got 3. Nathan's got 3. Lee's got 3. And Ryan has got 6. So majority of drivers still kind of penalty free. It's a shame it doesn't tell us maybe how many warnings they're on somehow. That might be a little bit too far, but... Check Insta chat real quick. Oh, I did. I just aired it. If Ollie gets it, Liam, then yeah, but I'm not. Right then, here we go. Brad gets a safety car underway. He's actually got a very, very nice start. Dylan is all over the back of Josh. He's picked up yet another 3-second penalty. Critchley, he's already got past Kian. Just further down, as you can see. So he's already up and into 5th. Here comes Dylan. He's going to think about one. Doesn't go for the full send though. And Critchley's already onto the back of Sil. Could he get two in a couple of corners? Well, he's got the inside through the long left-hander. And he's up and into fourth. So Critchley on the softs, making them work. Dylan just going to send one up the inside of Josh. It's going to force them very, very wide. But Josh is able to defend that fine. Harry as well on Kean as Cohen's picked up a 3-second penalty. He's up into sixth. We've seen Critchley absolutely bomb off, who's now right on the back of Dylan. Critchley with pretty much a near perfect safety car restart here. Like I said, if he can just work through these five, he's got a very, very nice run on Dylan here, and he's through and up into third already. I called what he needed to do, and so far he's executing it perfectly. Has there been a little incident coming together here as Phil's up into 7th, Cole's up into 8th, Kean's down to 9th. Phil's just going to keep E7 from Cole there. Harry's only a couple of tenths off Sil as well. But Critchley, I think he'll be looking for Josh and for second place pretty soon here. All over the back of him. He's going to use his overtake. Obviously no DRS quite yet. Harry's got past Sil as well a little bit further down, but Josh looks like, to be fair, he's got a car that's set up there very nicely in a straight line. So not able to pull through. Phil and Harry having a little scrap through turn 2. And Sil's going to come in and maybe sweep all the way around the outside of some of them. Critchley has actually got past Josh in the end, but these three potentially trying to go 3 wide from the long left-hander. Phil's going to be able to keep hold of 6th. Sil will take 7th from Cole down to 8th. So Josh thought about fighting that back. But Critchley up into 2nd. He's got his teammate up the road who obviously is on those older soft tyres. So that might just be a pretty simple switch. And right now this midfield looking a little bit crazy as Dylan has picked up a 3-second penalty as well. Here comes Matt on Sil. Up the inside. It's just going to be a drag race. His teammate's going to look to get him as well, Ross. Not quite, didn't quite have enough road. Alright then, Critchley with the near perfect safety car restart within 3 laps could potentially be into the lead of this race on the softs and have a chance to just absolutely disappear while the others have to try and work their way through the traffic. He set the fastest after the race with a 36 dead to go with it. Surely his teammates got to pull over on all the softs. Surely, well, yeah, we'll just let him through. And Critchley is into the race lead. You can see in the background Dylan and Josh having a little bit of a scrap. Dylan's through up into 3rd. Phil and Harry as well. Josh is still fighting this back though. Dylan will have the inside just about, and it's through, and finally looks like he's going to be able to keep hold of P3. Josh won't give out this easily though. Matt's picked up a 3-second penalty. Most drivers at this point have now all got a penalty. Critchley already with a 1.2 second gap in around half a lap or so. So his teammate being on those older softs, if he can just kind of create a little bit of a train, he's in a very, very, very good position. Matt is all over the back of Cole. Obviously DRS now, but this is the definition of a DRS train if I've ever seen one. This is a thing. Critchley got through them without them all having DRS, and now Harry's kind of stuck here while everyone around him's got DRS, which just makes it that much harder to get the overtake done. Critchley with a 34.8, 1.2 seconds in his fastest lap last time around. Meanwhile, Harry's lapping at a 37.2. So you can see what him being held up in this train has done. Further down, the 2 Mercedes have got by, and the 2 McLarens have also done a little switcheroo. Oh, it's Josh has actually Gone a little bit off. He's going to rejoin behind Harry. Harry will take that free position. Cole will take the free position. Ross will take the free position. And so will Matt. So, a little mistake. Was that a puncher? Oh, that was a puncher. Josh has picked up a puncher. I was going to say, saw some debris suddenly fly off. And I think that's obviously when he's gone wide. As he just ran over a little bit of front wing or something. Because surely yes, he's on 17 lap old mediums. But they're not going to be blowing up on lap 17. No chance. So, Josh has suddenly got a mountain to climb as Aston and Kian. Well, Aston's going to sweep all the way around the outside. And both run a little bit wide, which will allow Liam to come through and take P11. That's very, very unfortunate for Josh, though. Drop him near enough to the back of the grid. Aston going to get overtaken by Liam. He's going to try send one back up the inside, but Liam had the momentum to do him all the way around the outside, had the inside for the next corner, so he's able to get up into the points, up into 10th place. Richley now with a 10-second lead. They will just bomb down the straight. Ross is going to think about sending one up the inside of Cole. He thought about it. He's going to have to hang it all the way around the outside if he wants to make this work. This will be a brilliant move if he can do it. All the way around the outside. He's just going to lunge one and have the inside for the right-hander. Luckily, he didn't go too deep and kind of just punt Cole into oblivion. As Phil and Brad on these old softs are finally starting to deteriorate. He's been overtaken by Dylan and Phil now, and he's going to just start dropping down the order. I think his pit box will be very, very soon. You know, around the lap 20 mark, I'd imagine those softs to go, something around that. So, we'll see with everyone else on these fresher medium tyres. I'm still surprised he just didn't pit under the safety car, because now he's going to come out all the way down in like 14th, 15th place. As Harry's going to just send one up the inside. Locks up and nearly ran into the side of him. Harry's back up and into 4th. I mean, Critchley is just bombing away. Oh, Ross thought about sending one into the second last corner on Cole. That would have been quite a ballsy move if he went for it. Phil's got past Dylan a little bit further up for second place, and Cole has got through on Brad as well. Fortunately, we couldn't see both of those overtakes, but I know this midfield pack is so close. Well, Ross tried it a couple laps ago, but this time he's able to make it work, and he's now up into 6th, and I'm expecting Matt to get through very, very soon on the Alpha Romeo driver as well. The yellow flag in sector 2. Is that the race leader? Is that Critchley? Critchley's had a spin. The race leader has spun. It was Critchley in the middle of sector 2 going on to DRS straight. He's had a little spin and he's dropped all the way down into 3rd. It's currently Phil in the lead. Dylan 2nd. He's going to try to fight it back on Dylan. I think he might be able to regain 2nd place, but Phil... Oh, it's close between these two. But yeah, no, he's able to retake 2nd. Phil will inherit the lead then. And that gap that he pulled out, he did so well. From the safety car restart, he's just thrown it away with just a little spin all by himself. He's got on the throttle or either rode the curbs a little bit too aggressively. And off he goes as Ross is just bullying his way through Cole on the second last corner and around the final corner. And he's up into 5th. To be fair, he's now got to fight this back down the straight. But to be fair, I think it would actually be Matt, his teammate, looking to get past. So the Mercedes going on a little bit of a dominant force at the moment. Matt's just going to send it up the inside. Cole doesn't put up too much of a fight. We'll just focus on maybe getting a better exit. And rehabbing a go on the back straight. in a few corners' time. Kean's picked up a 3-second time penalty. I have to say, 21 laps into this race, this has been a very, very entertaining one. Harry is close to the back of Dylan too for P3. Here comes Harry on Dylan. He gets through. Ross might think about following him. Not quite close enough. Richie's looking to retake that lead. He'll be angry. He'll be wanting to push as hard as hell. He's got that gap down to 6 tenths to fill already. Obviously, he worked so hard to build that 6-7 second gap out. And he suddenly just threw it all away. Ryan has picked up a 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. He is currently down in 16th, but I'm actually not too sure what's going on there. Didn't really thought about that. Pulled out. Oh, he gets a little bit sloppy on the exit. These mediums will be slowly starting to go off. He's done around 20 laps on them. He's suddenly nearly just cut completely across Ross. That could have ended very badly. Matt is actually going to go through, and he's going to lose a position to Brad as well, and he has to cut the corners. That could have ended very, very dangerously. That's unfortunate for Ross. He was right up in that scrap. Dylan's just almost sent him to Narnia, really, but kind of saw it coming and able to just stop in time. Here is Critchley though. Yellow flag in sector 2. Ross is actually now retired fully. Oh no. Oh yeah, I am not surprised that's a safety car. Okay, that car is not in one piece. Obviously, we saw him have that little incident. I'm not sure how he's ended up in the wall there, though. Maybe he had some wing damage, and the car just did not turn as he expected. We're going to see Dylan in, probably. What did Dylan start on? Dylan surely started on the softs, right? If he goes on to another set of mediums. Probably go to the end from here, right? Yep, start on the softs. I think we see most drivers come in for a set of mediums from here and look to go to the end. That would be my guess. The third safety car of the race. As we're on a safety car break, just in case people are interested in the football that went on today or is going on today. I know some people might support Man United. They're currently, they were 3-0 up half time. They're still 3-0 up. Barcelona are winning. Are people interested? Same with Dortmund. If you're a Barnet fan, they drew 0-0 with Hartlepool. I don't know, just do a quick football. I know sometimes people are interested in the football that goes on. Obviously, it's Champions League night, so I'm gonna have a quick little. I fell in there, right? Well, the top 4 have not pitted. Critchley did pit. Harry pitted for another set of softs. To be fair, we'll probably go just super aggressive and go soft instead of trying to make the mediums go all the way to the end. Same with Dylan. Brad will see onto a set of mediums. He'd already started on those softs and hadn't pitted yet. Ian onto a softs. Nathan onto softs, Lee onto softs. So maybe not as many people onto the mediums till the end of that 4. Critchley's done that, but to be fair, they could very well be another safety car. The top 5 don't really feel they need to pit, having only pitted 10 laps or so ago. The softs can do another 10 laps or so. The mediums can do another 20 probably. So Liam and Aston feel like, hey, these softs are, these mediums are still fairly new. No need to get rid of them quite yet. Right then, I think we'll just be waiting for Josh to catch all the way back up, to be fair. That is kind of a good moment for him. Obviously, lost out on quite a bit of time with the puncture. He'll now be able to refine all this said time back up. Is a good 40 seconds back or so. Hopefully, he can find that 40 seconds by the time we reach the end of Sector 2, but I don't think it's going to be possible, so he might need one more lap. Under safety car, to be fair, you do normally go very slow in the last sector, but it's whether the game realises he'll be able to find that time or not. I don't think he'll be able to gain in time, but you do never know. Has there been a little spin? Suddenly the Harry just seemed to separate and bunch them all up, which, to be fair, might give Josh a little bit of time. He's gaining quickly, but I don't think it's going to quite be quick enough, which is kind of annoying. Hopefully the game does a thing where it sends the safety car in just a little bit later. Come on, safety car in the slap. Not yet. Come on, Josh is right here. Just do the thing where it sends the safety car in like now, because the game realises he's caught up. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. Safety car in on lap number 24. We will have Phil leading the safety car restart this time. So he will look to back the whole field up. Alright then, where is Phil going to bolt? It's going to be literally right on the last corner, isn't it? And he is away, and to be fair, he's got off to a fairly good restart. Matt suddenly just darted to the right. Critchley, once again, got a good restart. Staying with Harry on these soft tyres. Couple of cars all looking for a way through. Harry's going to try around the outside of Critchley. We'll just have to tuck in. Will he send one up the inside? He will. He's got to be careful of Aston. Gets there very sideways on the exit, and that allows Dylan to actually come through and take P6. So the half dive attempt, unfortunately, has actually resulted in him losing position. He's down into 7th. Josh has scored past Lee a little bit further on down the back of the pack. Josh does unfortunately just picked up another penalty for it. Very close. We're going to take a look at this little scrap. Him and Sil actually now. Still just able to keep hold on P14, but as I say that, he's gone a little bit deep. And Josh will come back through and take P14. So his little road to recovery is getting underway as Critchley has got past on Aston. Aston's going to come under pressure from Dylan. Oh, Dylan has gone very deep there. He's done well. He's got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting, and he's then nearly just shoved Aston off the road. Harry will come through. That is not really gone to plan for Dylan there. He has gone... Actually, has he gained a position from that? I don't... to be fair, I think he's gained on Aston from that massive corner cut and then not really letting back through. I know he did get a 5-second penalty for it, but... It's a little bit of a dangerous one. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. There's a... Jesus, there's a collection of cars into the pit lane here. You've got... Josh, Cohen, Sil, Nathan and Ryan all into the pits. Right then. Fair, Brad's already back up to 9th. At one stage it looked like it could have been a little bit lower for him, as Kian's actually fighting to get past him. Aston and Cole. Cole's able to get past Aston for P7. Obviously Kian on those fresher softs compared to Brad's older mediums, so it's probably why it's a little bit quicker at this current stage in the race. But we're around the halfway mark now. Lap number 26. So it's been a very good first half of this race. Hopefully the action kind of stays at this kind of pace. Obviously the safety cars help keep it all together. At the moment Harry is all over the back of Dylan for P5. Obviously, the two championship rivals. As Josh has unfortunately picked up another 3-second penalty. DRS has finally been re-enabled, and Dylan actually has now got a very good run on Critchley. We'll have DRS off of Liam, but he's got such a good run. Surely he's got to think about it, but the thing is, Critchley's going to go for the move on Liam and sends it. Might go a little bit deep. Compromises both their exits through kind of turn 2 and 3. So Critchley through on Liam, gets that overtake done. Dylan's going to send one in towards the right-hander, and he gets that one done and is up into 4th as well. Harry surely is going to send one into the next right-hander, and he does, and he is through. So Liam unfortunately has lost out quite a few positions there, and if he's not careful, Cole's the next car, and he'll be looking to get through ASAP on there as well. Also out front, Matt and Phil have been able to pull away a little bit. Obviously now Critchley's into 3rd on those mediums to be trying to close that gap back up. There's 2.5 tenths between them. 2 tenths. Not quite close enough. Dylan's going to get through on Critchley, so he's up into 3rd. Cole gets through on Liam for what is P6. So quite a lot of stuff going on at the moment. Now officially past our halfway mark, lap number 27. Heading into these final 25 laps or so, as Dylan had just set the fastest lap of the race. As they will just make their way through the first sector, as Kian's picked up a 3-second penalty. Harry is all over the back of Critchley. Obviously, with the tyre difference right now, you'd expect him to just be that little much quicker. We got a VSC as Nathan has retired. And same with Josh. Josh is pinned it in the wall, I think, just, well, actually everyone else is too far away. He was obviously pretty much a lap down, so he might just face the consequences of DNFing on purpose. I'm not too sure, but we've just lost 2 cars in literally the space of 5 seconds. So with the VSC, that puts us down to just a 15 runners, which is unfortunate to see. Matt is eager to get past Phil. Dylan and Co have also caught up to this kind of train. And to be fair, this train for the lead pretty much goes all the way down to 11th place. I know there's kind of a 2-second gap from Brad to Kian, but he can probably close that fairly soon and they'll get corner battle. Liam obviously on those older mediums as well. People are going to start to get past him. DRS re-enabled now as well. Harry almost pushing Critchley along. Ryan picks up a 3-second time penalty. Small little mistake for Harry there, but he won't lose too much time. Matt is so close to the back of Phil. These are all just... well, this top 5 is separated by just over a second or so, which is just kind of ridiculous. You can see them all in the shot there. Cole just in the background. Here comes Matt on Phil. Will have the outside line, but he's already a couple car lengths ahead and he's through into the lead. Harry and Critchley also having a little squabble for P4. Dylan's got past Phil just further ahead as well, as Harry's up into 4th. These two still going to fight it. I think Dylan's just going to be able to keep hold of it. We've also got a spinner of Sil down right at the beginning of the second sector. I don't think he's out. I think he'll be able to get that car going and maybe back underway, but unfortunately he's in 15th. Phil and Harry also having a little squabble. Harry likes to send one up the inside there on the right hander, and he's done it on Phil. He's up into that podium spot. Critchley will look to capitalise on a little mistake by Phil there. He's gone very deep. And he will get through for P4, so not the ideal couple of corners for Phil there. Got overtaken by Harry, made a small little mistake. Oh, and as he just ran in to the back of Critchley, I think he has, and now he's got wing damage. Phil, really not the lap for him, lap number 30. I think it's all started to untangle, unfortunately. Just ran into Critchley's gearbox. As you can see, front left wing damage. He's going to have to pit surely, as Dylan has actually just taken the lead. Apologies for actually missing that. I was focusing on Phil's damage. So Matt, obviously on these aging softs, will be coming in fairly soon for another set, but Dylan's just able to get through. Harry is next up, and Critchley and Cole, as Liam and Kian are all through because Phil is coming to the pit lane as expected. There's a bit of a gap at the moment from the top 5. Liam on these old softs has kind of made his own little train, as Kian is actually looking to now lead the train, as Dylan's just picked up a 3-second time penalty. So Cole and Critchley, even though they are currently 4th and 5th, they're the only ones without time penalties, as well as Brad. They're in not bad positions still. With a late safety car, penalties obviously can throw pretty much anything in the works. Yeah, right now you kind of got the top 5 as their own kind of little train, and then you've got these 4 here. I think Kian will slowly start to pull away, and it will kind of just be Liam, Brad, and Lee. Brad, unfortunately, obviously didn't put under the first safety car, and he's kind of found himself a little bit further back. So even though he's in that top 5, he's now got some work to do. He's able to get back up into P8, but he could probably be up there, maybe around where Cole is as well. Unfortunately, hasn't quite been able to do that. He's on the mediums at the moment. We'll look to maybe go to the end, but we'll have to see. As Dylan has actually just got out Matt's DRS, so that could be pretty crucial. I don't know if we'll see Harry mount a charge here. He's going to use overtaking, but DRS, he's gaining so much in a straight line. Sends it and makes it, but Matt focused on getting a much better exit. Went for the switchback. But you can see the aging tyres doesn't have the grip. Critchley will come through as well, and Critchley might look at sending one up the inside. No. To be fair, Matt is not going down without a fight here. That's just picked up a 3-second penalty for trying to get back though. But do a quick penalty check. Well, Dylan's got 19 now. Seconds worth of penalties. He's really going to be struggling to really win this race with that amount of penalties. Matt's on 15, Harry's on 3, Kian's on 12, Liam's on 3. Critchley, Cole, and Brad, as mentioned earlier. Only 3 without penalties. And Lee has 15, Ryan has 3, Aston has 9, Phil has 6. Cole thought about sending one up the inside on Matt there. Ryan with 15 and Sil with 12. So yeah, quite a big penalty spread. I'm very surprised about Dylan's 19 seconds worth of penalties or so, and Matt is finally going to get rid of these soft tyres. and go to the end probably on another set, which will have to go another 20 laps or so. So it's pretty much got the most out of it. Brad has just picked up his first 3-second time penalty, as I mentioned that. Aston gaining a couple positions as well, because Matt and Liam actually both pitted on the same lap. Obviously this is around prime soft time to get the most out of them to go to the end, as Phil sets the fast lap of the race. So he pitted a couple laps ago after that unfortunate damage. He's still in it, in P11. Oh, excuse me, but suddenly we had this kind of big old trade, and now it looks like we might finally have maybe a chill-ish period. Critchley is still quite close to Harry, and Brad is kind of close to Lee, who's not too far away from Kian. But there's not like an 8-man train anymore, so this might just be the kind of the rest period of the race, as Sills unfortunately getting lapped by a couple of them. Aston's picked up a 3-second penalty as well. Obviously, Critchley will just be aiming to stay with these medium runners on the... sorry. You got a yellow flag in sector 2. Is that Phil? I think Phil's had a little spin. That is. He's unfortunately the second half of this race. It's all started to get a little bit downhill for him. Well, I was going to say, Critchley obviously being on these mediums, as long as he can just stay with these soft runners, if he's going to try go all the way to the end, that'd be good. If he then pits for softs, they will probably also be pitting again though, so he's got to try to stay with them for as long as possible. Lee's got through on Kian. How long though? Kian will definitely look to fight this back. Can't find a way through though, so Lee's up into 5th, and he's just slowly been climbing this grid as Phil has unfortunately retired. Is that? Don't tell me that's into the pit wall of the car station. Don't tell me he's done a map from last week. Ooh. Either way, we got a VSC for it, and we're down to 14. So, small little VSC period. I doubt anyone will kind of come into the pits to maybe try get the most out of it. Maybe an Aston or someone, but by the time they get there, the VSC might have ended. They might try also take the mediums just a little bit further, just get the most out of the softs right at the end. We've got around 18 or so laps to go, and the softs will drop off around 18 laps done on them. So anywhere now, you know, we might see Dylan, Harry, Cole, Lee and Kian all kind of do maybe 15, 16 laps on these softs, and then come in again and do another kind of 10, 12, 13 laps on the softs. It all kind of comes down to personal preference. I think you can split it near enough. If they do 14, that will take them to lap 38, 39, and do another 14 on them. So you can probably split it like that if you want to do like the perfect amount. So I'm guessing a couple more laps until we see these kind of soft runners come in, because they're not going to be able to do another 15, another 18. I'm getting my numbers all wrong. Another VSC. Who is this for? Anyone? I didn't see anyone with indication that they've maybe got some damage or something. Lee looks fine. Kian looks fine. Alpha looks fine. Ryan looks fine. Aston, unless he's got damage on his front and left. No, he looks fine. Then Matt. No, Matt's fine. Liam's fine. I'm not sure what this... No, they're all fine. I don't know what this VSC was for, to be 100% honest with you, but Lee, no. I was just saying how well Lee's doing, how he's just kind of quietly worked his way up the field, and he's just picked up a drive-through. That is so unfortunate for him. It's just one of those silly things under VSC. Speeding under it, and you've just picked yourself up basically a 20 to 25 second penalty, which is really the last thing you want to do. Is in the background, you can see Brad's up into 6th, and he will, I don't even know it yet, but he'll be taking P5. But to be fair, Kean got a much better exit out of turn 2 and 3, and just kind of blitzes back through and will retake P6. Right then, apart from these two... Oh, and Matt is actually right onto the back of Aston here. Just be patient, Matt. Don't get anything too stupid. Don't get any kind of silly damage. It's the last thing you need right now. At least try secure some points. Mercedes need them for the championship, and with both McLarens out, any sort of points, as long as you get 2 or more, which he will do if he can take P9, will see Mercedes overtake McLaren in the championship, if I'm not mistaken. Or it will build out a slightly bigger gap. There's a 1 point gap. I'm not sure which way around it is, but it's very close in there. As Lee is actually into the pit, so he's the first. Oh wait, no, he's got his drive through. Sorry. Really unfortunate to see. He will drop down probably all the way down into 11th. Actually, I think it'll be 10th. I don't think Liam will get him. Liam's coming around the final corner now. It's going to be close, but Lee can get up to speed now as well. So I think it just, he will just keep hold of P10. It's very unfortunate because he will have to pit. Liam won't have to pit now. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Silly mistake, which is probably ultimately going to cost him some points. Out front though, things have seemed to suddenly have got a little bit closer. Harry's now within Dylan's DRS, so he might start to reel in Dylan. He's going to start gaining quite a lot of time on the straights. Will Dylan potentially look for an undercut or vice versa as Harry's squirming? I'm expecting him to see them in the next 2-3 laps or so. They've done 13 laps on these softs. We've got 15 laps to go. Dylan runs a little bit wide and gets just another time penalty. I didn't even want to know. Unfortunately, Dylan has just not been able to keep on the track today. Oh wait, maybe that wasn't actually him who got the penalty. I just saw him go wide and guessed it was him with the penalty. I'll rewatch the stream to see that was actually him. No, it was Ryan. It was just the timing. I just kind of assumed it was him. So yeah, but he's still on 19 seconds. He has quite a lot of them. Suddenly, Harry's all over him. But he's talking to Jeff. I know he doesn't necessarily need this move to be done, as Dylan once again is just going a little bit deep and going wide. As Aston is pitted and Harry's actually just picked up a 3-second time penalty, so that's going to play into Critchley's hands and Cole's hand, as neither of them have penalties quite yet. Only 1.9 and 7/10 behind. So both of them at the moment will be 1-2, even though they're currently 3rd and 4th. Aston, when he pits, he will come out in 13th, unfortunately. Going to have quite a big mountain to climb. To be fair, Ryan might pit again. I can't see Cohen needing to pit again. Lee should have to pit again. But Aston might be able to get 10th if a couple cars DNF and whatnot. So, oh, I keep pressing the wrong button. He's still got some hope. Just keep going. Yeah, and to be fair, Dylan's track extending is what's cost him. 19 seconds worth of penalties. Here comes Harry. So much quicker in the straight line. He's not even using overtake. It's just the power of that DRS as Liam picks up 3 second bursts of penalties. Harry into the lead. Oh, Ryan's into the pit lane as well. I was about to say Matt's got past Ryan, but it was just him pitting. I'll see whack on a set of softs and go to the end on those. Rebel, if he can get back in the points, he's currently 10th, will be getting 1 point, but if he can get a couple more points as well, Rebel won for some good points here, as Cole is potentially looking at a podium here, as long as he can not pick up another penalty in these remaining 14 laps or so. So that Matt's just picked up another. Round about now is the time I'm expecting to see these guys come in for another set of softs and then just absolutely go for it. Will someone attempt the undercut? Obviously, Harry, he should know, as long as he's talking to Jeff, he should know that Dylan has a lot of penalties. Now, he will have to be wary of Critchley and Cole behind. Obviously, Critchley doesn't have to pit, and to be fair, his time on the mediums, he's staying with them completely fine. So he's in a very good position here. If I was Cole, I maybe would have pitted that lap. Because now you're doing, we've got what, 13 laps to go? You're doing more laps on these softs that you really need to. Yeah, someone's just in the chat, Critchley's in a very, very nice position to win because he's got the soft pace that these guys have at this kind of latter stage. The question is, obviously, they pit onto fresh softs. They'll be even quicker. His mediums are then going to age. It's gonna be a hunt basically on can the new soft runners catch down Critchley on the older mediums, which is why I think they need to kind of get a move on with their pit stops, because the longer they go on these softs, because they now don't need to, the kind of more time they are losing. Got a yellow flag in sector 3. Cohen's out. I tell you what, a safety car now would suddenly spice this up. It's down in the final sector. I don't think we'll get one because the next car is quite far away. The game will just kind of despawn in. It'll be whatever. We're down just to 13 runners, so that's unfortunate for Cohen. Lee's now in the pit for his soft stop. Again, neither of them in. There's no way they're going to try. Nah, it's not possible. There's no way you can take the softs like 30 laps around here. They're going to be dead. They're going to be dead. I'm still surprised Cole's not coming. I don't know if I'm missing something here, but 13, lap 41, 42, 43. Yeah, there's 13 laps to go. Surely you pit. I feel like I'm being dumb and missing something here. Then let's have a look back for the lead. Just be patient, tucking behind. Like if I'm Cole on no penalties, I'm just going for the undercut and just trying to just kind of disappear. Because if you're Critchley, you don't need to push. Or waiting for a safety car actually could be huge, but going to the end, I don't. They'll be dead. These tyres will be absolutely dead. They're not going to be able to hold off Critchley. You can see Critchley is already now. Looks like he's maybe starting to get a little bit of a move on. He's got this gap down to 7/10. So top 4 all now within DRS of each other. I think waiting for a safety car, I guess, is probably the best shout, but there's not too many cars close to each other on track apart from these guys. You got Lee and Aston, who are both teammates, so I can't see too much going on down there. Ryan's just going to start dropping off because he's on those older mediums. Apart from Keane and Brad, who are kind of close together. 3 attempts in that currently for P5. Unless a car bins it by itself, I think the likelihood of a safety car is quite low, as here comes Dylan on Harry back up the inside and into the lead of this race. So maybe they are just trying to make the most out of these, but Dylan did not get a very good exit at all. Harry will just easily come back through. Yeah, but no, these softs are going to be dead. You can't do 30 laps on these softs. There's no way. There's no way. We saw the drop off when Brad was on like 20 in the first stint. As Kian is... Oh, it's somehow switched. Kian has actually got past Brad in the end for P5, so very nice points position for Kian, obviously. This whole debate right now that we're having about whether these soft runners are going to have to pit or not. Kian has unfortunately just picked up a 3-second time penalty to go with that, though. Yeah, but Critchley is in the prime position right now. Yeah, no, they are going to try go to the end. That's going to be my guess. To the end or a safety car. They're taking the gamble. To this grading, there's going to be. Should we maybe get a better outside shot? Like. Dylan. This time, we'll take the race lead. Hidden flag in sector 1. Oh, wait, what? Harry, was there contact there, or was Harry just spun that by himself? Well, either way, I think Harry might have to pit now. Was there contact there that I just didn't see? I don't think there was. No, Harry, I've just watched that back on stream. Harry just I looked away for a split second, and Harry just absolutely dropped it, unfortunately. He's going to have to pit now. Those tyres are going to be red hot. Well, that's very unfortunate for him. I can see why maybe Dylan's going to try to stay out, because he's got a load of penalties and they've got quite a big gap to everyone else. I just thought maybe you got to just try something. But the tyres don't look too bad. But it's just, I was kind of just judging off kind of what the others did, as Harry and Dylan and Critchley still having a good old scrap through the last couple of corners. Not the easiest place to go for overtakes, but they're going to try it. I just think come lap 53, the tyres aren't going to look nice. So here goes Critchley, even on the mediums, will just absolutely storm through. And I think this is now the point where Critchley will start to disappear. He's been patient. Lap 20 or so, he's now into the lead with no penalties either. To be fair, if Cole can just stay with them, Cole will have second place because of the sheer amount of penalties around him. So I can maybe understand why Cole hasn't pitted as well, but we just have to see. We will have to see as Brad, maybe gone a little bit deep on turn 2 and 3, and Matt suddenly, out of nowhere, is actually looking at a very good place for P5. Send one up the right-hander. Not sure what the penalty situation is down here. Oh, Matt's got 18. To be fair, so does Kian. Brad's only got the 3. Kian's really trying to get through there. I keep pressing that button instead of X. I do apologise. Yeah, they're just going to stick with it then. I mean, fair play. It's not personally what I would have done, but if it works, it works. Ooh. Dylan lost that completely there, and Cole's going to take second place. And these three all pretty much got a similar gap to each other, around that 6/10 mark. Got 8.5 laps or so to go. And Cole is staying with him. I'm still very interested to see how long he can stay with him though. There's going to come a point where in that kind of, after the DRS straight in the first sector, the beginning of the middle sector, and then the final sector, there's going to be the periods where obviously once he's not in DRS, he's just not going to have the grip. And I think it's going to begin any time now. Dylan's already dropped off a little bit. You can see he's starting to struggle. And Cole's just increased his DRS here. It's around 8.5 tenths, but he's not really gaining because he's not really got the slipstream. It's a little bit of the DRS advantage. Finds him around a tenth or so. Maybe a tenth to 2 tenths down the straights. But you can see out of the first and second corner, Chrissy's then gone again. Dylan's really dropped off now. Chrissy has just picked. Oh, okay. Chrissy's just picked up his first 3-second time penalty of this race. Suddenly, now all Cole's got to do is stay within 3 seconds of him. Chrissy's just gone into AI momentarily, which isn't always ideal. As Harry's just picked up another 3-second time penalty. I think Matt behind him had a good 18 seconds or so. I think Brandon's 6th, to be fair, with the amount of penalties we've seen. Could still be potentially on for a podium, depending on how many Harry picks up. I know he only had, I think Brandon only had the 3 last time he checked. He still does only have the 3. Harry's only got, yeah, it's not a 6, maybe 4. 4th, definitely 5th is on for Brad, definitely. They're definitely going to jump Matt. They did him with 22 seconds worth of penalties, 9 and 8, add 2. He should also get Dylan, to be fair. There's 19 seconds. Just that's going to be close, that one. I don't know if he's got to add on the 3 actually. Also, no, he's going to have to find a little bit of time to, if he wants to jump Dylan, actually. Apologies. Cole's doing a good job to stay with him. I honestly expected these tyres to kind of drop off, but he's just staying with. My issue is once he loses that DRS. Because we've seen Dylan drop out of the DRS with Cole, and, well, he's dropped 3 seconds back now. I'm scared the same's going to happen if Cole does just make that little mistake and drop out Critchley's DRS. In towards the final 5 laps or so. At 48, 49, 50, 51, 2, 3, that's a 6. So you got to count the lap you're doing as well. Using all that overtake as possible. It is literally just Cole v Critchley at this point. Stay within that 3-second mark and Cole has the win. It's that simple. Everyone else is kind of spread out at this point. Oh god, I've just opened something. Don't want to do that. Oh geez, a bit lag for a second. Yeah, Dylan's dropping off how I expected. Cole's out of DRS. He's got it. He's just, and I mean he must have just got that. Using all the overtake possible, but he just needs a little mistake from Critchley just to help him. I think come lap 50 he'll be out of DRS. We're kind of carrying on this same trend. I think, oh, we might not even have it down the start-finish straight here. Ooh, that's going to be close to whether he got that or not. Give me very close. No, he didn't. He didn't get a DRS. I think this might be where the drop-off commences, unfortunately. It's just keep it within 3 seconds. Pray for a Critchley mistake, or that you've just got the pace somehow to keep this gap within 3 seconds. Four and a half laps to go. 1.3 seconds to gap. Everyone else, as mentioned, is pretty much in their own race at this point. No one is really that close together. Most people have got kind of a 3-4 second gap either side of people. Maybe even more than that, actually. Most people got like a 5 second gap either side. Approaching the final 4 laps. Not a lot to commentate on, to be honest. It's just all eyes on Cole. Whether he can keep this. If he picks up a penalty, it is dream over. If Critchley gets another, then it's dream on. Because to be honest with you, Critchley does get a 6 second penalty. That could be crucial. I'll check what warnings they're both on quickly, actually. Oh, what, 2 in the same lap? To be fair, one of those warnings could potentially be an incident warning. But he's very, very consistent with it. To be fair, Critchley's quite a few warnings off the next penalty as well. So I don't think we'll see Critchley pick up another. 1.8 seconds. Any kind of mistake from Critchley, and I think Cole might have this. But at the rate it's going, we've got a yellow flag in sector 1. Is that Matt? No, Matt. No, Matt. No, Matt. He did so well to claw it back to P5. Obviously, with penalties, would have jumped around a little bit. He might still actually finish in P6, which is probably where he would have got because of the penalties. But it's always that battle on track. He was doing so well, but he's had a little spin down at turn 2. To be fair, we might see a little battle here. Oh no, Still's actually a lap car. Cole is doing very well. I've mentioned it, kind of Dylan had that drop off that I expected where he's now 7 seconds behind. Cole's kept this within 2.1, but I think at the rate Critchley's going, he might just get him towards the final lap. Oh, this is going to be so close. 2 seconds with 3 laps to go. He's got to find around 3 tenths a lap at this rate. Any mistake from either of them and it is game over. Who's going to make the mistake first, or will it just be who's the quickest? So you would have much preferred this battle to be a proper on-track battle, but somehow penalties are how these races are settled. They're on different strategies. It's gonna be what the outcome is. At 51 and 53, down this DRS straight for the third last time. 2.3 seconds. Critchley is building out roughly what he needs. He needs the gap to be around 2.4 to 2.5 seconds at the end of this lap. Right now it is sitting at 2.3. 2.2. How much ERS has he got? He's got a little bit more, not loads more. Dylan's just picked up another penalty, unfortunately. Which we'll actually see. Should see Brad potentially. That's going to be very, very close. That 26. No, Brad should potentially get that 4th place then. He's a little bit too far back from Harry to get Harry. 12 seconds there. But Critchley 2.8 seconds now. I think these softs not going to have it for Cole. It's going to be a very, very, very well fought kind of almost time trial at this point. But 2.8 with two laps to go. He's got to stay with him to basically a 10th. I don't think that's going to be doable, unfortunately. There is the 3-second mark. He is preying on a mistake right now. He's fought very well, but I think the fight is going to be over. One and a half laps to go. It's still at 2.9. If he could have just stayed in that DRS for just that extra lap or so. Obviously, going to use all the overtake he's got. Same with Critchley. Through this final sector, he's seen Critchley gain that just an extra bit. He's got the extra grip where it matters. And yeah, 3.1. Oh, yeah, and I think just that little slide. Little kind of half mistake. He's lost 3-4 attempts because of that. And I think that might signal, unfortunately, the battle over for Cole. But it's been a very, very good fight as the leaders are on to the final lap of the race. Matt's looking to get Brad on track, even though he won't get him because of the amount of penalties he has. Matt's got one last, well, he's got maybe 2 final attempts, really. Lee's just picked up a 3-second time penalty. Has DRS does not have a lot of overtake at all to play with. Can't really make it look in towards turn 2. Critchley 3.5 seconds clear now. I think this win will be in the bag for him. He comes back after 53 long laps. He comes down the back straight for the final time. And he should, unless anything goes ridiculously wrong in this final sector. Critchley is going to be our Russian Grand Prix winner. 3.5 seconds is the gap. Sills just picked up a 3-second time penalty. He's got 2 corners to go. Lee does the fastest lap of the race. Round the final corner, he's going to cross it with what, 3.8 seconds, and Critchley wins in Russia. Cole crosses the line. Puts up a very good fight, obviously. No penalties. Very, very well done, but it's only going to be P2, unfortunately, for him. Couldn't quite get the win. Dylan will cross the line in 3rd. Also gets another 5-second unserved penalty added to his time. So Harry is going to take that final podium spot. And then Brad will just hold on to P5 on track. It should promote him to P4. And it does. Just about 1.9 seconds was the gap. Matt's going to be in 6th. Dylan obviously in 5th. Kian will cross the line in 7th, but could potentially drop all the way down to 9th/10th. So yeah, laying up into 7th. Ryan, it should take... Oh no, Ryan actually jumps Liam by a 10.5. So Ryan in 7th, in 8th. More very good points for Red Bull. Good points for Alfa Romeo as well. Kian in 9th, Aston in 10th. Ryan will take 11th. Lee will take 12th, and still already being a lap down has finished. But overall, a very, very enjoyable Russian Grand Prix. We will see you... Well, actually, no. I won't do that. We won't end it quite yet. Obviously, we still got the couple cars to finish. We got... just waiting on Lee to make his way around the final corner. Got a little bit too excited then. But Jesus. Not that bad, I promise. So yeah, there you go. Very, very enjoyable Russian Grand Prix. A little bit more kind of relaxed towards end of the race. Keelan got the driver of the day. I will probably give it. Keelan did well. Obviously, did start quite far down. If I'll have a look and maybe see. Oh no, might agree with the game. There's your podium. We're just going to skip it. I hate to break it to you. They can watch it by themselves. Richie did very well. Obviously, had that spin, able to come back. Cole from 11th, to be fair, would actually probably be my driver today. From 11th all the way up to second place. Harry, unfortunately, only third. Will close that championship gap. They did a little bit, not a lot, but it's a couple points that he can close down. Brad was in 4th. Excuse me, Matt was in 6th, Ryan in 7th, Liam in 8th, Kian in 9th, and Aston gets that final point. Ryan in 11th, Lee in 12th, got the fastest after the race as well, but won't get a point for it, unfortunately, as obviously outside of that top 10. Sil in 13th, Cohen in 14th, was the last. No, Sil was the last finisher. Then Cohen starts the DNFs. Cohen, Phil, Josh, Nathan, Ross, Tyler, and Richard are unfortunately the DNFs for this week. We'll be back at the same time at what 7:30 every Tuesday, 7:30. Hope to see you all there. Next up after Russia, do we go to Japan? I think we go to Japan. I don't think it's Mexico quite yet. I will have the quick check. I think we jump to Japan. Yeah, we do. Japan, then USA, then Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. So yeah, same time, 7:30 next week. Hope to see as many as you there. We had a very nice, enjoyable stream today. So thank you everyone who tuned in and watched, commented, and whatnot. And see you all then. And goodbye.